Issue at that same time. People living with albinism have been victims of discrimination and crime. More than 200 witch doctors and traditional healers were arrested this year in Tanzania in a crackdown on the murder of albino people. Most recently in South Africa, Thandisile Mpunzi, living with albinism, was reported missing on the 5th of August. She was later found brutally killed in KZN. Joining us in studio now is Nomasonto Mazibuko from the Albinism Society of South Africa to discuss the issues that face people living with albinism. It's so good to have you in studio, and welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you very much, Leanne, and thank you to the viewers.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. People living with albinism have been subjected to discrimination, violent crimes for centuries. I mean, why? What do you think is the reason behind all of this?
Well, firstly, Leanne, we're not living with albinism. We've got albinism. We're born with albinism. The fear is that we're different, and most of the time our parents are normally pigmented, and it comes like a surprise to them when you are at the labor ward and this bouncy little baby borns with you. Then the baby is different. That's the main thing, because we people with albinism lack melanin in their skin, in their eyes, and in their hair. So when parents receive this baby, they are not told before to say there is a possibility of you having a child with albinism, because there is no genetic testing. Always it's a surprise to the mother.
So what you're saying, I mean, you use the word different. Do you think that is the reason that people with albinism are subjected to all forms of discrimination?
Yes, because let me give you a simple scenario. We are on the queue in the supermarket, and you are in front of me, then it's me. People don't look at you or stare, but immediately it comes my turn. They will look at me once, twice, and stare. You know, and staring is very, very uncomfortable. Meaning, round about you, you've got children, as Nomasonto has got children, and you are with this young, normally pigmented children, and they would be asking you, Mom, why are they staring? It's because you're different. And people, because of your difference, they start having ideas. One of the ideas is the myth that says people with albinism do not die, they just disappear. Another myth is when you have a sexual intercourse with a person with albinism, your HIV status is cured. Another myth is that when you drink blood of a person with albinism, then you'll be supernatural, you'll have luck. And we even go to an extent where Thandisile was killed, and our body parts are chopped, and they are taken as luck to our witch doctors.
I mean, is this a case of lack of education towards people with albinism?
I would say yes and no. Education, yes, but advocacy, the Albinism Society is more than 21 years. We've been advocating, if you remember well, and we've been teaching. And in biology, there is a chapter on genetics. But people tend to turn a blind eye. And when it suits them, we are fine, we are clever. When it suits them, we are a blessing. But when it suits them again, they will say, no, they are a curse. In other families, people are taken as a curse. In other families, people even hunt people. When you look at the situation in Tanzania and the situation in KZN, because people of our borders being thinning, the lady who has advocated on killing Thandisile has ran away into Mozambique. What does that mean to us? So people are living in fear now in South Africa.
Yeah, indeed, they would do. I mean, it's, you know, the thing is that this recent killing, I can imagine, has sparked a lot of fear again within the community. I mean, do you think that it's a major issue, and how do you feel it can be dealt with? You say it's, you know, this organization, your society, has been around for 21 years, speaking about the same thing, and yet the situation seems to be getting worse. What would you like to be seen done?
Well, and let me tell you that the United Nations has given us a platform. The 13th of June has been identified as Albinism Advocacy Day. We did celebrate the day in KZN, And we're saying to government, can we get certain ministries coming together to look at albinism? The Department of Justice, the Community and Safety should give safety. The Department of Social Development has come out to say they are funding the Albinism Society. The Department of Health and Department of Education, those ministries, if they work together, and the Chapter 9 institution, when Thandazile is a young lady killed during the August month, where the institution of the Chapter 9, the Gender Commission should be saying, enough is enough. Women should not be killed, and women cannot be killed. The Human Rights Commission and the Commission on CRL, where we say people are killing us on the basis of saying it is a natural, and if our traditional healers will divert now into killing, yet the main issue is saying they are healing traditionally. So we have to look at it, and all those people that I've talked about should come up and protect Unomasonto.
Yeah, indeed they should. And besides that, we also need to ensure, I think, is to have more role models that are albinos, that we look up to them and say, you know, this is fantastic. And instead of all these myths surrounding it, to rather be celebrated for the people and individuals that we are, because that's exactly what it is.
Yes, there are role models. There's Salif Keita, there's Nomasonto, there's Puleng in SABC, there's Refilwe. We are working very hard.
Good.
But is that only person who will influence? Thus we find the Thandaziles.
Indeed. Indeed.
That way.
And those are stories we don't want to be hearing about. And it seems that Africa is not the only continent that goes through this, but it's a worldwide phenomenon and a problem that we really need to get to the bottom of. Nomasonto Maziboko, thank you very much for talking to us here on the program. National Director of Albinism Society of South Africa. Write to us. We'd love to hear your views on all of the issues we've discussed. Let's take a break.